Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Women's Tour Episode 4. So, first thing, there's a lot of strained relations with our trainers. The game gives you some staff by default, and straying away from that can often be challenging. Now, these days, most riders use groundbreaking as their go-to style for training, but the game's default trainers that they gave us was one legendary modern trainer and one super cheap traditional trainer. But with our focus on building for the future, I have two high quality scouts that eat up 28,000 between them per month. With the doctor, we're looking at 30,000. Our budget is 83,000. So those three staff members alone use the bulk of our budget. And our balance it's 50,000. We don't have money to throw around willy-nilly and just hire anybody and get what we want. I can't afford a groundbreaking trainer at this point. What I'm going to try to do, and remember, we have to pay, 2 months salary to hire someone. We're going to take a look and see. I might end up having to fire our modern trainer, who's valued at 25,000, and get somebody a little cheaper. And then in a month or so, when we have a little more money saved up, maybe we can get a second trainer and then replace the traditional one, because nobody uses traditional just about any longer in this game, especially young riders, which is what we have, nothing but young riders. So say 15,000, the sign-on fee is 30. So going after something like that isn't necessarily an easy thing to do. It is 10,000 less than what we're paying per month, and we certainly can kind of recoup some of that cost. But it's going to take us 3 months just to get back if we drop the modern trainer and hire one of these. With 30,000, we save 10 per month. So that's not terribly easy. We might have to go for like a national level coach who isn't going to be as good, and kind of just put away a little bit of money towards next season. Hence the whole I hired a second scout and figured that was a better place to dump our money. I'd like to do well this season. I certainly don't want to lose our sponsorship, but we need some cash, and I think this is our way to do it. So it hurts to leave a legendary coach behind, but there you go. That's done. So we're at what's possibly our most important objective of the entire season. It's the third of our 3 big objectives, and it's the only one of the 3 big objectives that is achievable. I'm supposed to have quite a few riders on fitness peaks, but because of our limited racing schedule, a bunch of riders have not hit those fitness peaks yet. They're really close. They're a day or 2 or 3 days away from hitting their fitness peak. But unlike Pro Cyclist mode, you can't trigger that in advance. My fastest riders, Moke, Klaus, big negatives. And you could see that the pace here is pretty relentless. We're chasing pretty hard. There's already 7 riders out the back. Probably due to a crash, I would imagine, but don't know for sure. DeWitt, one of the only ones that I know what's up with. So McPherson looks pretty good with that 57. That's still not as good as Moke. So I think we're going to have to stick with Moke. Sykes, 57 on the resistance as well, 60 sprint. And Klaus, it's a 54 resistance, but it's still a 62 sprint. So those are still our 2 quicker riders. The others are just almost as good at them. And that's going to really hurt us. Getting a top 10 today, the requirement, I think this is now going to be really challenging. Sheer, how's Sheer looking? 63 sprint. I think I need to ride for Sheer. Sheer's got 59 resistance, 63 sprint. That's going to be a little bit better than anybody else. It is just a little bit faster. You can see more riders are going backwards. 48k to go, And at this point, we just have to kind of line it up. I think I'm on a circuit. I've not been paying attention to the roadway at all. Trying to get a feel for the riders, where they're at, how they're going to fare today. There's no wind. It's pouring, but... Okay, 20K banner there, and we have 37 to go, so I'm guessing we have about an 18K. Ooh. Is that the finish? Or is that the finish? Which one is it? Either way, that is a tight road. Position's going to really matter. It's going to be hard to get around riders. It's going to be very, very easy to get blocked in. So, position today, essential. We want to get out front. We want to stay out front as best we can and not get swallowed up. And that should be enough to get that top 10.
There's a few riders jockeying for
Under
position at the
22K
front.
to go. There's that 20K banner. 18K now.
He's breaking
Here's
away.
that one last time through here. Yeah, I'm liking
The breakaway is not to everybody's
I'm liking
liking.
this
The peloton
finish
has significantly increased
finishing
its speed.
sequence.
The rider has fallen, and he's not
We are
getting
going
back
backwards
up.
though.
It looks like he'll have to
Come on.
abandon the race. We've got 15 kilometers to the
Come
finish
on,
line.
oh,
The leader
jeez,
is
Moke.
down. The team
Come on,
plans
Moke, what are
will
you
be
doing?
turned upside down. Falling behind. A team
Sykes
member
goes down.
behind. Another attack in the leading group.
Field just split. 36 at the front. That's a minute gap, really? Okay, my fastest rider's caught behind, but I have 3 riders up here and just 36. This is the type of thing where you can get... It's too far out though. And we've sat up, We're letting this group come back.
The current pace is a bit too docile for some riders.
5
who are
riders.
looking to create a
We're seeing
breakaway.
attack now.
We're
4
hearing on the
riders just going
radio
off
that
the
a
front.
rider has given up. The riders are entering the last 10 kilometers of the stage.
10K to go. What to do here? There's 6 off the front. There's 31. There's 19. I don't think we're coming back. 9K to go. I don't like racing for 7th. Does not sound like a good combo. Moke's having a bad day anyway. We still have a lead out rider in Klaus. Do it. Let's hope that we've eliminated a whole bunch of sprinters.
Teammates of the main sprinters
Back
are
together.
not handing out
37
tickets for a
now at the
breakaway, so
front.
the stage will end up in a
And
mass
Do It
sprint.
is going to start doing that whole damage thing. Yeah, don't let them come back. Don't let them do it. Remember that run in. Super tight, super technical, and we're inside 5K. We're inside 5K. We're almost to it. Come on, Do It. 95, 95. You got to get up front, but at the same time, you got to give us a little more. 99 for you. And sprint it out for you. It's not that I'm actually trying to sprint right now, but Do It. Klaus is... Okay, 2K to go. Klaus. Go, Klaus.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
Sprint out of this. Sprint out of this. Come on, Klaus. Come on, Klaus. Sheer. We're in that prime spot here. We're going to get a top 5. We're going to get a top 5.
A great
Come on,
win in
Klaus.
the sprint
I know
of the
you're slow,
strong band.
but hang on, hang on. Oh, she held on for 4th. Erica Klaus, 4th place. All right, all right. That is not just a success. That is a super success.
We're waiting for the back markers who appear to be
Sheer
fairly
never could get
numerous in
clear,
this
and that was that
difficult
whole
race.
thing that I talked about in the first place. Position was going to matter. Sheer couldn't sprint because Sheer had nowhere to go and was stuck, tucked in on the wheel of Klaus. Do It was to the right. Vanderie, Jameson, Pitt, and I think Kramer were all on the left-hand side. Sheer barely got past Do It right at the end. Yeah, 4th
Here are a
place.
few of the key moments.
Oh, heck of a result. I'm not sure we're going to get anything better than that all season. And we needed that. We really needed that. I appreciate the course, because the course really created that scenario. We were not fast. We just... Nobody could get past anyone. except for the left side. The left side had opened up a little bit as the faster riders went through. The slower riders, Klaus, DeWitt, held up the whole right-hand side, and nobody ended up getting past Klaus. All right, so again, the Healthy Aging Tour is not until September, so completely irrelevant. Our top 3 objectives, we got a super success in one, we got a partial failure in one, so it gave us the red X all the way instead of the orange one. Not sure why that happened, but that really, really helped, because you can see we're back up to about a 45%, I'd say, evaluation. And while that's not good, considering what we have for a team this year, that's about what you can hope for. It really is. I can't hope for much more than that. So I think our chances of hanging on to mediocre or better, that 10% threshold, we've got 35% to play with. Not a lot of major objectives left, and those, of course, are the ones that are going to hurt the most. Rutland, Melton won't hurt much. Garande, Joe Martin, cycling, Cascade Cycling Classic. Those 3 are going to hurt a bit. If I can get even one of those, we're all set. Problem is, 2 of those we're not going to get. We're not going to win a stage at Garande or Joe Martin. I will be super surprised if we win one stage this season. It will be a complete fluke if we do. And if I happen to do it on an objective, that would be phenomenal. I don't expect it. So Cascade Cycling Classic top 10, that's going to be hard. That's easier said than done. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull off any of those, but if we get 1 or 2 minor ones along the way, the little boost that those give us, that might be enough to keep us above that 10% mark. Remember, last time we tried to do this series, we ended up with a 0% eval. My regular career mode that first season, I think we had like a 5% eval. So, I've been down this pathway before. This is going much better than my first 2 attempts at taking a really, really weak team and trying to survive. It's only the 6th of April, but as I already pointed out at the beginning of the episode, my big focus on this year is scouting and trying to bring in riders for the future, a core that we can build from. So I need young riders, and I need talented riders with high potential. Easier said than done. Scouts should be active. They should be finding some of those, but I'm going to try to help them out. I long ago found that riders without a current contract tend to demand less and tend to gain interest significantly faster than riders that already are coming out of a contract. They're hungry to get back on a team, regardless of who it is. So I've searched riders that are totally free right now and under the age of 25, and this is what we have. So I'm going to start to look through these riders. Some of them are going to be Baradeur type that really aren't going to help us much. I'm going to go ahead and start scouting some of these, and we'll see. This is one of those Baradeur types. We'll skip on them. Add some assignments. And I should have a good look at quite a few of these riders when the time comes. Time trial's good here, but nothing else is. Okay, that's a balanced rider. Even if they're labeled as Baradeur. Same here. All right, well, that's 10 aside for each of the 2 scouts, so 20 in all that we're after. And that takes us down through the 70s. I think that's a good look at quite a few riders. And imagine if we're able to sign, say, 6 of them, how much better we'll already be immediately next season. On to our next sponsor objective. This is Rutland Melton, 203 kilometers. It's a classic, but it's a cobbled classic. And this is the type of race where I could easily have every single member of the team 20 minutes or more behind. So getting our top 10 today is going to be quite difficult. Now the good news is there's not that many cobbled sections, and the majority of them are very short sections, and it's also mostly flat. All good signs for trying to survive. Despite all of that, we easily could still be 20 minutes behind. We'll do what we can to stay alive in this one. Also, in this first season, being that it's such a quick season and the quality of the team is majorly down, I'm using the AI management of the calendar, which, if you've used it, you know what you're getting into when you do it. You should know what you're getting into. You're asking for trouble. You really are. Come on. Our top rider goes down in a crash. It's our best hope for the day. And out the back she goes. It's ridiculous. Come on. Come on. You're almost there. Slow down for a second here. She still hasn't made it back up there.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
Shoot. Are you kidding me? I kept it sped up, and that is completely my bad. But that is just ridiculous that O'Neill... that Moat goes down completely. This is how bad we are. Our best rider crashes entirely on their own. On the flat. In the dry, and now we're 3.5 minutes behind. Moak was right there. I mean, the peloton was in sight. We weren't racing too hard, but we were closing it down. Then all of a sudden, Moak wasn't closing it down, and the energy was gone. This is how bad our ratings are. Completely unprovoked. No pace in the peloton, and now I've got 2 riders out the back, never to be seen from again. So now it's 98 chasing 6, and now I have 4 riders left with 54k to go. Go ahead and send somebody to get water. Those 2 are miles behind. Somebody else has been dropped, so at least they're not going to be alone back there any longer. I send Larson to get water, and Larson doesn't go get water. Come on now. Get with the program. Program being we suck. So apparently she's getting with the program. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We'll be fine. No, we won't. Top 10. Here we come.
Whoa, there's an attack from inside the breakaway group.
All right, 22k to go. Not much in terms of cobbled. What is left? 2 cobbled sections right before the end. Fairly flat from here to the end. We're starting to see some attacking. Nope, let them attack. Let them attack. Larson, I used their gel instead of getting water. Is that what I did earlier? Did I do that? It's entirely possible. I've only done that a couple times before. But I have done it. Click the wrong button. I'm seeing a clear attack here. But I'm really not the one to be chasing anything like that down, so no thanks. 12.5k. Okay, that first cobbled section is not too far away, so we better set up for it. So, Klaus? No. Sheer. Klaus. Do it. Larson. Okay, Larson. Oh, shoot. Larson. No. No. Do it first. But gently. As soon as Larson gets in position, Larson's going to go first. But I am not letting us drop backwards. Come on, Shear.
Only 10 kilometers left.
Come on, Shear. Larson. Do it, Gel. Come on, Shear. Need you up there. There we go.
The sprinters are positioning themselves up front. It'll probably be
8.5K to go. Road's suddenly getting skinny, and we're about to hit that first section. And look who we're catching. O'Neill out there. All right, first cobbled section. Here we go.
Some cobbled sections are very narrow, so it's important to be well positioned to avoid falls.
And we're through it. One more still to go right before the finish. 6K to go. I like this 91. It's getting us pretty much up front, but not too crazy on the raciness. Okay, we're seeing some attacks. Here come the other teams. Do it. Got to go a little faster here. Oh, Shear. Should have used your gel already. 3.3K. 3K, and we're in that optimal spot, but we're coming up on a cobbled section any moment here. Okay, Klaus, 1.9. Is there? Oh, yeah, towards the finish it is. And Klaus is out. Shear. This is a top 10. This is definitely a top 10. Oh, we did it. We did it. We did it. Dominguez. Alonso Dominguez for the win. We've seen her at the front before. Klaus 7th. Shear 8th. Double in the top 10. Do it. You did it today. Good lead out. Really helped us. Really set us up. Evaluation jumps to 50% now, which is a good mark. Like I said, just a couple of these results should be enough. We only need to keep it above 10. All right, on to our first dossier period, and this is something we really need to watch out for. We are a team with literally zero history, and we have not gone out in the first 4 months of this season and made a name for ourselves. So we're going to have to really go down this list of ways before we find some riders that are going to be interested in joining this team in the future. You can see Emma White, as an American, has a little bit of interest. And look how expensive it is in points, by the way. I mean, Emma White would use half of our dossier points currently. And she's a Baradeur with a bit of punchiness to her. A couple Baradeurs at 68 is the first time we even get somebody with moderate interest. This is going to be a difficult signing period for me. Now, I do have a little bit of money to play with that we can afford to pay somebody more. But we're going to have at least some interest in order to go after these riders. And it's just really not out there. So I'm not going to get a golden generation in this first group. We're going to get some tolerable riders that are going to make us perform a little bit better. And then next season, I think, is where we're going to finally start to see a little bit. So we don't want to overspend. We just want to ultimately improve the team. But I'm going to have to take a totally different approach here and start with interest. So you can see that there's a 67, 31-year-old Baradeur that has 100% interest. But to get down to someone young, we've got at 65 and below is where that really starts to tick off. So Brookshire, we're going to assign some scouts. One of our scouts is making good progress. The other one's not. Oh, I had Brookshire before, didn't I? Isabella Brookshire. I think that was one of my original writers last season, PCM19 series. Really having to dig deep just to find writers a lot of 50. Well, the whole set is 50 to 75s. But unlike what I was hoping for, getting riders in the high 60s or low 70s, it's mid 60s, meaning we're not going to see a massive improvement. I've assigned Scout to each and every one of these. My hope is we find 2 or 3 of them that have that 5.8 potential, and that might be all we end up signing. We're going to go for riders with potential, and I'm not going to settle for a bunch of riders that don't have really good potential. So, because even just a few riders are going to make a significant difference, our profile is really, really bad right now. So it's going to take us a while to build a reputation and become a place that some riders want to come. You can see from the 100% interest level, there already are a group of riders that are 65 pluses. We're going to go after those as well with our scouts and see if we can't find some decent, at least mid 60 riders to go after, and then we'll see if we can't target somebody slightly higher up the list if we see some quick success with some of these riders. That is going to do it for this episode, though. So it's 1st of May. We're making our way quickly through the season. We've got a 50% sponsor evaluation. I don't think you could hope for any higher than that. So I'm feeling good about where we're at right now. In a way. Our prospects for next season aren't as good as I expected. So it's a little up and down, a little give and take. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.